Welcome back to another Jeff Reviews for you. And as you can see in this video, we're looking at a couple products from Twillory, their Air Blazers and their Air Pants. You know what though? Enough talk, let's get right into this review. Lately, I've been seeing these ads for the Twillory Air Suits or Air Blazers, so I just had to try them out. I went to their website. They had 12 different solid colors and 2 patterns. It was hard to make a decision, but I ended up picking 4 of them, and that's what we're going to check out in this video. I haven't even opened this yet, but look how my new suits were delivered. They are in a bag that's been folded up and zipped. How will this thing not even be wrinkled? They do promise that it's wrinkle-free. Let's open this up. I'm going to do the official unboxing and opening of one of these on camera because I want you to see how they are put together. All right, so right here on the side we have a zipper, and this zipper actually goes all the way around the bag. Once we are unzipped, we can now unfold it. We can officially flip up our suit bag, and there it is, ready to be opened. Just a quick pull of the zipper. And we have our very first air suit to check out. I appreciate that it does come with a plastic wrapping. Makes you think it's definitely new. First and foremost, I want to draw attention that there aren't any wrinkles on this thing. This thing was just folded up into a bag. I expect this thing to be a wrinkled mess, but guess what? It really is not wrinkled. That is really cool. This one was a navy blue plaid, and I really liked what it looked like, so I had to opt for one of these as well. Let's talk a little bit about the pricing of these units. They retail for right around $335, but they do offer sales all the time. And when I purchased mine, I actually Googled a Twillory discount code, and I ended up finding 18% off, so that helped out a lot as well. They have sizes ranging from 36 all the way up to 52, and each size has a short, a regular, or a long. I opted for the long just because I'm taller, and I like to have that extra length. One thing that was pretty impressive, on all orders they do offer free shipping, so I appreciated that as well. Not to mention free returns if you have any issues with your order and, well, you haven't worn or washed the outfit yet. We are going to try this later, but they also say that these are machine washable. Who's ever heard about throwing a suit coat in a washing machine and letting it dry flat? You can actually do that. That is so cool. They, of course, do say you're not supposed to iron them, just machine wash and lay flat. We're going to try that later on in the video. The manufacturer tells us that this is 85% polyamide and 15% spandex. That's where you're going to get that stretch from, and I'm super excited to test that out as well. You know what's really funny? On the actual website, you can't tell that there's this textured pattern. It's almost like a honeycomb pattern that goes throughout the entire thing. That's probably where the breathability is from, also the stretchability, but there's definitely like a honeycomb pattern that's over the entire suit. As I zoom in here, you can definitely get a closer look of what that looks like. So I have held this up, and you actually can see through the actual jacket. Now, when you're wearing it, you can't see through it, but you definitely can see through it when you hold a light to it. Check this out. I pulled my atomic sunblade. You can see how you can see that light right through the back. That's where the venting comes from. In the front, however, it's not that same way. You don't see through it right here on the front. Realistically, just on the sides and in the back, that is actually pretty neat how breathable it is. I was really worried that you could see through this, but you just simply cannot. Of course, we can see that breathability just like I was showing you by putting this light behind it. See how thin that material actually is? I do appreciate the airflow. Before we go into trying this on, let's go over a few of the features. You have 2 front pockets right here, and of course, both of these pockets, brand new, should be stitched. So you're actually going to take some time to cut those stitchings open if you want to have them open. Most people do. You're also going to notice you have a chest pocket right here on the top left. This one, of course, also is stitched and should be opened. This particular style has 2 buttons in the front. Let's open it up to take a look on the inside. Inside on the right, you of course will have a pocket. This one is already open. Of course, on the other side, you have a pocket here as well. There's this little loop that sometimes was used for hanging pocket watches. I guess you can put a pen there, maybe a badge. There's also a zipper pouch right here, which is probably meant for your cell phone. That brings us to the top of the jackets, where they do have a built-in shoulder pad to help keep that shape, and that actually is a really great feature. And then inside here you have like a little loop that you would consider a locker loop if you're going to hang this up on the inside of a locker. I was looking at the various parts of the air suit. The arms themselves are pretty stretchy, whereas you notice the front part is not. This is definitely more rigid. If you go around to the back, that's again where the stretch starts to happen. So Twillory does implement the stretch in various parts of the jacket, just not the entirety of it. My thoughts are the front, they want to keep this nice and flat and orderly, so therefore this material is supported in the front a little more than that of the other parts of the suit. If we flip to the back, you're going to see this little tiny X right here. Let me get a zoom in just so you can see what I'm talking about. This X right here is meant to be cut. Right now it's just stitching together your air vents, but on most suits you'll see this and you can just cut that open. Anyway, that's the ins and outs of the Air Blazer, so to speak. I'm gonna open up the other ones and let's go try them on. Here are the 4 jackets that I picked from left to right. I have khaki, then blue, there's heather gray, and of course we've already seen our navy blue plaid. The only one I'm really concerned with right now is the blue one. When I opened up all the other ones, they came wrapped in a plastic wrap. They all had everything nice and tight. The blue one didn't have a plastic wrap, and check it out, it's really wrinkled. Let me zoom in. Do you see all these wrinkles? Definitely not what I was expecting, especially after opening up the other ones and having them in perfect shape. Now I do know that Twillory has a return policy, and if you don't like it, you can send it back. I'm wondering if this one was returned because it came to me different than all of the other ones. I'm now gonna go try these on, but I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts of these air suits? Have you tried them or heard about them? Let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Just for fun, I've also purchased a pair of the khaki pants, and so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna be wearing those in this video. I also purchased one of the Twillory shirts, so I'm gonna be twilled out, so to speak. Let's go try these on. The pants don't come in the fancy bag like the jackets do. They just come in this Ziploc bag right here. I will say, however, the hangers that come with the jackets do have a spot where you can put your pants there. So if you wanted to, you can put them all together, fold them up, and they probably could fit in the bag or hang up in your closet or whatnot. But just so you know, they come in this bag and you can use the hanger with them. I picked the tan pants to show you because one, you can really see that stretch. Man, that is pretty impressive. Plus, you can also see that honeycomb pattern that goes throughout the entire pair of pants. My wife actually says they look like pajama pants. I don't necessarily think that, but I do think it's something to get used to as far as the pattern. On the back of the pants, you do have 2 zipper areas where I guess you can put your wallet or whatever. On the left side of the pants, you have a typical pocket, and then of course you have a zippered pocket if you need to keep things more secured. That brings us to the right, another pocket here on the right side, and then there's this other pocket, I guess if you're gonna wear a pocket knife or just something in there as well, but that's just 2 areas on the right side for storage. I thought this was cool. On the inside of the band of the pants is this rubber that goes all the way around. They actually call this the anti-untuck band, so your shirts will be stuck on this and therefore not untuck. That's actually a cool feature for a pair of pants because there's nothing more frustrating than when your shirt comes untucked. Now, it'll catch here and not move. Finally, we have the front of the pants. You can see that it's a flat front. There's a zipper and a single button, but that's exactly what it looks like with the front of your pants. The pants are very, very breathable and stretchy. When I've worn them, I haven't really noticed that they were see-through, I guess because they're not really, really tight, but I guess if you put a whole lot of pressure, you can probably see my fingers there through the pants, but I do appreciate that stretchy fabric that is breathable. Let's talk a little bit about my experiences while wearing the Air Blazer with the Air pants. I do have a Twillory shirt on, and I'm gonna link down below the exact ones that I have because I can't remember off the top of my head. First and foremost, I love how stretchable this is. I can leave this buttoned in, sit down, do all those things I need to do, and it flexes with me. That's pretty awesome. Not to mention, it is cool. Like I said, I wore this for an entire day's worth of meetings. It was from 8 to 4, and I was looking at the thermostat in the room. It went from 70 to 72 to 74, got as high as 76. I didn't take this off one time because I was not sweating or hot. I really did appreciate that. When I got home, I was not a sweaty mess. I like wearing jackets, and sometimes it's hard for me to find one that fits just right based solely on the length. My height comes from my torso, and finding a long that fits me is sometimes difficult. As I said earlier in the video, I picked a long just because of that reason, but I found that it was almost the same length of a regular in my same size, whereas the long jackets that I have went down a little bit longer than this one. I also noticed that the shirt, the one I'm wearing right now, it is their XL version. There is not an option for an XLT or not, and it's actually kind of short. I like wearing it untucked, but I guess some people wear it tucked in, but for me, it's a little short as well. That just means some of these products may not be geared for taller people or people at least where their height comes in from their torso area. When I first got these, I wasn't really sure about the pattern, right? And it's actually something I'm still getting used to, but I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts of this honeycomb style pattern? I tell you what, it's really, really comfortable, but you definitely notice it, especially when you're up close to someone. Now, let's wash one of these jackets because that to me is an important feature. If you can wash these things, that saves a whole lot of effort. No dry cleaning, keeping them clean and smelling fresh. That's pretty awesome. Let's do that now. We are gonna wash the khaki blazer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a picture of it now and then wash it let it air dry, laying it flat, and then take a picture of it side by side to show you the differences. I did look inside to see any kind of washing instructions like, hey, cold water. It didn't say anything, but I am gonna wash it in cold water. Taking it out of the washer, it's actually been just laying flat for about an hour and still is damp. Now, drying times are gonna vary absolutely based on the climate and temperature of your house and your locality. What I was most worried about was this gonna be a wrinkled mess? And it's really not. You should note that as it's drying, you're gonna notice different colors. I can actually see this right here, where the lower part is sort of more dry than it is up here, and that could be just from the washer that this didn't get as wet, so you might see some of this discoloration. I noticed the same thing when I was washing the pants and then drying them, that sometimes it would dry at different rates, and as it dried you might see a little lighter than, of course, when this is still wet, but once it's all dry it'll all be the same color. As promised, I have the side-to-side picture of the blazer before it was washed and after, and you can tell that there's really almost no difference. I really appreciate that. I love the option of being able to wash these at home. Anyway, that was my full review of the Twillory Air Suit and pants. If this is something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for you. As always, thanks for stopping by and hope you have a great day. You can't forget about the extra buttons. You have 2 buttons that are located within the zipper pocket just in case one of your other buttons were to come off or break. I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review where I took a look at the Air Suit from Twillory. That's their blazer and their pants. You know what though? Not that long ago, I actually reviewed a product that's a neck fan. And actually you wear it around your neck and that's gonna keep you cool as well. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link that right up here and I would love it if you would click on that link. And when you do, by the magic of the internet, I'm gonna join you right here. So go ahead, click it. It's safe, I promise.